Awesome. Let's bring Jose Lopez with my NHD, and again, thank you for providing us with help. How you doing, man?
Good, I'm good. All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Let's try that again. There's some coffee over here. Good afternoon, everyone. All right. So it was great to see some great familiar faces and some new ones as well. For those who I haven't had the pleasure to give a headache to yet, my name is Jose Lopez. I'm your NHD rep. Now, really quick here, show of hands. Who here has heard of the My Hashtag app? Pretty sure I've brought it up to a couple of you guys already before. This is an amazing free tool for you guys. I want you guys to definitely look into obtaining. My NHD has a tool. Go to myhazcheck, myhazcheck.com. Create your own login credentials, and you're now able to pull up fire and flood regarding a property from completely free before you open escrow. This is a great tool to utilize because it shows with real map technology if the property is in a high fire zone or not. This actually saved an agent in advance who was writing up an offer for their client, but had a second thought of, hey, is the property in a fire zone? Is insurance going to be impacted by this? They pulled it up. They reached out to the insurance agent who was actually able to get them the insurance policy, so they were able to close. Took a little bit longer, but thankfully the insurance agent was actually working diligently before they opened escrow. But because they looked it up and saw that it was in that, it's one of those free tools. So one of the things I like about the My Hashtag app, and I will be doing a lunch and learn soon for you guys just to educate you guys on it. It's completely free. You can look up all the property details, and even the most important part, you can hit share and share it to your clients, and it'll say the map is provided by Jose Lopez, KW South Bay. So, and they can see in real-time technology where it's the map of the property. It'll show where it's in a flood, where it's in a fire, and all of that's 100% free before you open escrow and without even having to order your NHD report.
Wow.
So this is a great tool to help you guys also be industry experts, especially for those who are out door knocking as well. It's a great conversation starter to start up as well. You knock on a door, hey, did you know your property's not in a fire zone? Did you know your neighbor across the street is? It's an easy way to break the ice aside from the typical just listed, just sold script that sounds extremely robotic, right? So my goal is to help you guys out. Any questions regarding your NHD reports, please reach out to me. Like most of you guys, I survive on cafecito. Give me coffee in the morning and I'm good to go throughout the whole day. Some up early mornings, I'm up late nights as well. But thank you guys for your time. I'm going to give time where it's respected and where it's due. Thank you guys for allowing me to be the sponsor. Looking forward to helping you guys grow. Thank you. The link, myhazcheck, myhazcheck.com. So if you go to myhazcheck.com, it's going to look relatively simple. It's going to say sign up or log in. You sign up, create your own login credentials, and then you can look up the address through address or APN, which is perfect for if you're on about showing, let me correct myself, not showing, selling property to buyers. All right. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
you. Yeah, my NHD is one of the, my opinion, one of the best natural hazard disclosure companies. Very detailed, and I like that it's color coded too. So it makes it a whole lot easier when you're having conversations with your clients and stuff. So, yeah, good stuff. So thank you again, Jose. All right, let's continue. Next slide, please. I think we have our community events. All right, so coming events, next slide.
Simon, can we actually have Joanne Gallen share a few events?
Yeah. I was actually going to do it after, but let's give Joanne a quick a minute to come and chat. So give her a round of applause.
So, and we have 30 seconds, so I'm going to be real quick, so sorry if I'm talking too fast. Who has good blood here? Could you come and donate tomorrow? PD is having a blood drive. Please, all you have to do is click on here. Please come. Every pint saves 3 lives. Number 1. All right, number 2. Hey, Nat, take it away. Where's the next one?
Next slide.
Next slide, Nat. All right, so who?
Hey, that looks like Alleghena.
It does. Who likes to have fun? Who likes Cajun food? All right, for $10, that South Bay affiliates, which I'm one of, we're having a little mixer on the 18th of September. It's only $10. We're gonna have food, you'll get a complimentary drink, and there's gonna be magic and networking. There's a limited space, so if you want to go, actually, you know what? Call the board, just call the board.
Code red.
If it doesn't work, because if you're not a member of South Bay, call the board, but make sure you tell them, I encourage you to go, because we're having a little contest. All right, next slide, Matt, but this would be so much fun. And then the next night, the South Bay Young Affiliates are having a top golf event. Really fun, they had a great turn. We had a great turnout last year. I don't know the cost, it might be on here. Oh, it's $45. But it's fun, food, drink, and top golf. Thank you for your 30 seconds. If anybody has questions, call me. Thank you, sir. I owe you.
I remember several years I donated blood. It was one of those buses, and it was parked in front of the office. Not here, it was parked in the office. So I donated blood, and I remember the needle being this big, but it was that thick.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's like super. So they injected me and then immediately the blood started going. And then all of a sudden, I just felt a gush like, wait a minute, something is filling, I think it's the craziest thing. And it was I gave like two bags of that. Never have I experienced that, but I ended up surviving. Anyway, just wanted to share. But still, please donate. There's a lot of people that obviously need blood transfusion. So. All right. Okay, just a friendly reminder, we have launched our Ignite Connect with your market center here at the office. Let's give the instructors a round of applause. These are amazing instructors. Okay. Michelle Brown will be spearheading tomorrow, Thursday, from 2 to 4 here in the training room. And then we have all of the amazing instructors spearheading it. So I got some great instructors, and thank you to Chris Baker for helping me with selecting some of these experienced instructors to launch the Ignite. And if you're interested and you have the experience and you understand the elements of Ignite, then by all means, we would love for you to be part of this as well and become an instructor too. All right. So again, tomorrow, August 29th, here in the training room, 2 to 4, 2 hours of your commitment to be part of this. Yes,
And if you can't make it, where can you find it, the material?
yeah, so you can go to our KW Hub and all of the materials there, or I believe it's also being recorded, so we record all of the sessions as well. And then you can go to our KW YouTube channel as well. All right, awesome. Thanks, Matt. Next slide, please. All right, a friendly reminder as well, avoid legal issues with Laura Peterson. How to avoid legal issues in today's market. She is part of our risk management team as well. Stay compliant, stay confident. That'll be Wednesday, September 4th. Okay, that'll be at 2:30. Now part of our team meeting, it'll be after the team meeting at 2:30. Okay, Laura always provides some great information, some war stories, and she's also a licensed mediator as well. Okay, so please, to be in compliance with all of the changes happening, right? I'm involved in so many different types of transactions that involve disputes, complaints, litigations, and lawsuits, that it's great information for all of us to be informed. And it'll be an opportunity for you as well to ask questions, you know, what best practices. All right, so Wednesday. So you can connect on that, but it'll probably be the same link as the TV. So we'll check, but we'll definitely provide all of the agents an email with the link, and then it'll be spearheaded here in the training as well. So just be here at 2:30 if you can make it. If not, then yes, there will be a link to. Okay.
2:30, not 2 o'clock.
2:30. 2:30. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2:30. Okay. Next slide. All right, we have Brandon spearheading the negotiations. So Brandon, tell us a little bit about this certified negotiating specialist. Where are you? Brandon, come up here real quick. Come on, give them a round of applause.
So quick story, this used to be called the Certified Negotiation Expert class. Some of you have taken the CE designation from me. That company has gone out of business. They actually sold a certain portion of it. But I know that there is a huge demand, especially now with the changes. So what I've done is I've taken the core concepts, but I've now made things a little bit more relevant for what we're going through today. So if you really want to hone down your and polish your skills, negotiating not just with the sellers, with the buyers, but the investors, more importantly, your value proposition, you want to learn some maybe controversial, better scripts than what we're used to on, how to figure out where you are in a negotiation, size people up, all that good stuff. That's what this is about. So we're getting ready to launch this nationally, which Jamie and I are very excited about. We're gonna do introductory pricing for everyone in the KW family here for $99. So there's 2 dates coming up. One's a Thursday, one's a Friday. One is here, I believe Friday at the South Bay office. The Thursday version will be at the Long Beach Coastal office. So great class, great opportunity. Again, tons of questions, great questions that you can learn to ask people. I think we could all do probably a little better job. And I think, again, the new era that we're going into, I think it's a good time to polish those skills. So,
Absolutely.
yep, thanks.
Absolutely. Who wants to be better at negotiating? What did I say earlier about role playing? What was the 3 things I said?
Learn the contracts,
Learn
negotiation, handle objections.
Yeah. Learn contracts, learn negotiations, and learn objection handlers. 3 components. If you learn those, you'll be a master. Okay, so awesome. So thank you, Brandon, for doing this for our team. All right, let's continue. Next slide, please. All right, Brandon, come back up here. I'm making them work today. So just a reminder, we have our KW picnic Saturday, September 7th, and we would love for all of you, but we also need participation and assistance. So Brandon.
Who loves great weather? Why do you live here? Great weather. It's Saturday, great weather at the park. Who likes food? Yeah. I can see how much you guys like food. Let's start that over. Who likes great weather? Food. Who loves dealing with real estate agents? Who likes football? Here we go. All those things, guys. It is so much fun. We really want you, not just come hang out, network, get to know. We have some great agents that have come over from the Beach Cities office. So give them a round of applause. The culture here is amazing. The energy here is amazing. And every once in a while, we just need to get together, not necessarily talk about real estate, and just enjoy each other's company. So we're going to have some flag football. We're going to have some other games and things going on. Bring your kids, bring your family, and just come enjoy and hang out. The more people, the merrier, right?
What's that?
Long Beach City is here already.
Yes. Yeah, I love Beach City agents, so thank you for being part of this. But yeah, just to kind of piggyback on what Brandon was saying, last year we had an amazing time, and you can really feel the culture that we have here at South Bay, right? But more so, even though the grass was uneven and we were concerned that we were gonna twist in the ankle, we all survived, right? We all survived.
Couple, it was.
Yeah, it feels perfectly comfortable. But we definitely had a great time. I enjoy playing flag football. It just brought me back to my younger age and just childhood and just playing with some amazing guys. And guess what? It's not just for the guys. Ladies, if you want to play, okay, it's flag football. We're not gonna tackle you. Yeah.
Yeah. You wanna be tackled.
It's a great time. So again, just a reminder, the link, okay, that's for the class prior. So Saturday, September 7th, it's going to be at the Hickory Park. It's centrally located in the city of Torrance. Same place that we had last year. So I'm excited. Flag football starts from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and then lunch from 11:30 to 1 p.m. Make sure to please RSVP, let the office know, so that way we have a head count, but it's a potluck, okay? So bring your favorite dishes.
And Simon, we need to encourage people to reach out to Natalie to sign up to volunteer for potluck.
Yeah, okay. So as a reminder, as Brandon says, we need volunteers to come in early to help as well. Kind of similar to Red Day, right? We have the agents volunteer, but family is welcome. Pets, I believe pets are welcome as well, as long as they're in a leash as well. Okay, cool. Any questions? All right, let's go ahead and continue. Next slide, please. All right, this is something with one of our agents, Bernadette brought it up. She's part of the Inglewood board. It's a barbecue beach party. That's September 17th. It's a Tuesday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's at the Mother Beach in Marina Beach. The address is there. If you're interested, just a small token of appreciation and donation of $10, September 12th. If you have any questions, please RSVP and then Zelle the money directly, or at the event, you can also give cash as well. Okay. Again, September 17th, just around the corner, 17th. Okay. Barbecue beach party. Questions? Donation of $10. $10. Okay. And then we have our KW South Bay Headshot Day, Thursday, September 19th from 10:30 to 12:30. It's $55. That includes 10-minute session, one outfit, one location, 3 edits, and deliver within 1 week. So if you are interested in updating your photo, by all means, we got Cheyenne, one of our amazing agents. We're going to take time to help take the headshots. All right. If you're interested, please click the link or scan it or take a photo, and that'll take you to her site to register for a headshot. Okay, awesome. Yeah, and that's me there too. Yeah, I hate taking photos. All right, guys. Any listing pitches, buyer needs coming soon that you'd like to promote today? Yes, sir.
We would.
Yes,
We are
absolutely.
from the Beverly Hills Market Center.
Awesome. Let's
We're
work on Beverly Hills.
scripture right now. We're not sure if this is for you, but you guys all know that, exactly what to say?
No.
No.
It's a script book.
Start every conversation with, we're not sure it's for you, but, and guess what will happen? They'll actually listen to you for a second. Because everybody doesn't want to be told this is not for them.
Yeah.
So, and to give you a word of encouragement, this lead came in 13 months ago.
Wow.
We are just putting it on the market on Friday, okay? So don't be frustrated that leads that seem they should be going to fruition a lot sooner sometimes take a long time. Took me 7 months to get the tenant out. By helping them try to find property. At the very end, we had to do a cash for keys to get them out. They had been there 8 years and had destroyed the place. So literally, we're at Torrance Gateway Estates, which is on Myler. These properties were built in 1990. We now have one that's built in 2024. There's nothing in the unit that's not brand new. Everything is brand new, and it came out really well. We use an incredibly great staging company. So I will just tell you that 20 agents that are way bigger than me are like, oh my God, you are so lucky to not have to sell them as is. And Alex is part of our team. We're part of DBO Luxury Group, which is headed by Andrew Bloom, one of the top agents of our company. He's got offices in Scottsdale and now Beverly Hills. We are adding Melissa Z's team to our team. I don't know if any of you know her, but she's got 10 agents on her team. Our team is about to grow to 20 agents here in Beverly Hills. All I can say is that it seems like a really nice situation here as well. We're a family. I came from 38 years of touring with bands. Sadly, during the pandemic, I got hurt by a client. It ended my career. I had sold real estate for 6 years in Nashville, Tennessee, back when you didn't have to do anything but answer the phone, and people were moving from other states going, I want to move there. I left there 6 years ago and came to California because no offense, Nashville is not the town I moved to in '86. It's gone. It's now a big city. It's very expensive. All the free stuff and cheap stuff is gone.
So it's more expensive in here then?
It's almost as expensive, yes. It is. It's very scary what's happened. We have a Four Seasons in Nashville now. Top floor was bought by the biggest realtor in Malibu. You see 4 of his pages every week so he bought the top floor, 26 million. When I moved to Tennessee, if somebody told me it was gonna be probably sold for 26 million, we'd say, how much of the state did they buy? I was selling real estate, it was 80,000 to maybe 180,000. And, but again, the phone rang all the time. So we have flyers here. I'm doing an open house Saturday and Sunday. We're doing an open house next Tuesday, which is our broker open day up north, and some people are coming down. And then we're doing it Thursday, which is your broker open as well. I can assure you that if you have a client looking to buy a property under $1 million in Southern California, HOA is $295 a month, 2-car garage, 2,400 square feet, fireplace in the bedroom. That's the night he's talking to, you know, right? And everything, again, it's been completely renovated. When you come in, you will literally probably want to buy it. In fact, our escrow officer in our office yesterday said, maybe I should buy it. Like, why not? So, but it's really something that your clients and you yourself will, when you get to walk into brand new. Yeah.
What is the address?
22330 Myler, number 59,
So just to give you.
90502.
It's right behind Harvard UCLA Hospital.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you for coming by.
Well, you guys were nice enough to let Andrew and Jill come down for a listing and things that they sold. And
That's right.
they spoke really highly of you all, so I felt welcome. It's like we all think, right? We're always worried about whether we're welcome.
Yeah.
I started this company in 2005 in Franklin, Tennessee. We had Gary Keller come to our market center back then, so. Times have changed, that's all. And at family reunion, you used to be able to line up and get your photo and a 5-minute conversation with Gary Keller and Mark Ellis back, that was 2006 in Vegas. I have some wonderful photos of me in a tuxedo with Gary. People are like, how the hell did you get that? I'm like, just stood in line.
Anyone else? Yes.
Hi everyone, I have a two-bedroom three-bath in San Pedro, area 183. I'll be having an open house started from 1 to 4. It's listed at 549.9, 2 bedrooms.
Okay.
Awesome. How did you get that listing?
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Because we were forced to do 100 in a week, I have really been calling on my past clients. It was very fun.
Amazing. Let's give her a round of applause. All right, Joanna.
I have a listing coming up in West Torrance.
Okay.
It's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. I think it's like 15 something square footage. But it's gonna be listed for $1,475,000. I'm doing a broker's open tomorrow from 12 to 2. And I will be serving lunch, so if you want to come by and get something to eat.
Beautiful.
Oh.
All right, anyone else? All right. Yes, Sarah.
On the market one day in Long Beach, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 450, about 1,000 square feet, and the HOA is 303.
Beautiful. All right, yes.
Buyers need 6 bedroom, 1 story, in the South Bay area, like, maybe October, somewhere in there,
Okay.
maybe even Inglewood.
I would also say, put it on the WhatsApp,
On the,
WhatsApp chat.
Okay.
Share.
Market share,
Yeah. Put it out there, let people know.
All right.
Beautiful. All right, well, let's go ahead and continue. I think next up we got Chris Rivera. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good, man. All right, so, hello, everyone. Thanks for coming for my presentation. That's smart, that's next. Let's see, you guys want to know about rates? Rates have slid over the last month, which is rate, and they're gonna continue to slide well into 2025 and beyond. Right now, you're looking at about the low sixes on conforming, about the mid fives, FHA, VA loans. Jumbo's right there about the mid sixes, depending on if you want to pay a point or not. Non-owner occupied are actually sliding down too. Those are about 7, it's about 7.25, depending on FICO score, LTV, that sort of thing. So rates are starting to slide in the right direction, right? And we know the Feds came out last week and Fed Powell, the governor, said that, hey, we are going to be lowering rates in September, it's just a matter of how much. And I think the unemployment numbers that come out in the first week of September will probably dictate what they do. We know there's at least 25 bip cut on the table in the 18th meeting, but there's a possibility for a 50% cut, which is going to only further reduce rates. We may see them into possibly 6 and 8, and below for conforming loans, which is going to be great for you guys, right? So there's going to be a lot of buyers out there. As rates go down, their buying power gets increased. They're going to be looking for you guys to kind of direct them into their home. Yes.
Yeah, what are the determining factors of the Fed giving a 25% versus a 50%? What are the determining economic factors?
The major one they're looking at right now is the unemployment rate.
Unemployment.
Yeah. If that trickles up for higher than 4.3, we're probably going to see a 50-point cut, more than likely.
What is it right now? What is the unemployment?
It's 4.3. Yeah, and that's gone up from 3.5, which is the beginning of the year. That's pretty tremendous increase. So we do anticipate that to probably go up. At least the gurus that I'm reading say it's probably going to be higher than 4.3. So there's a really good chance that we're going to see a 50-point cut. But that's what they're looking at. Inflation now is at 2.6. That's kind of in the neighborhood of where they want to be. Obviously, their target rate is 2%, but it was up there at 8% just about a year ago, right? And so they've done what they did by increasing rates to curb inflation. They got that under control. It's coming down, but now the unemployment is the key thing. Yeah, so
Is there any affect anything on the Ukraine and what's happening in Israel or not?
yes, any great, yeah, absolutely. Any global turmoil like that obviously affects rates, right? So yes, that will. That's all played into the market. And so the market knows the Feds are already going to reduce it by a quarter, which is why we saw the slide just 2-3 weeks ago, right? But if we see that unemployment rate go down and they do a 50-point cut, you will see that continue to slide and push rates into growth.
Do you see the 0.25% already having an effect on the market?
Oh, yeah, it's been priced in over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, we've already seen that. That's why rates are where they're at now, right? So if we see an additional potential cut, which we will in the next 2 weeks, that's only going to further slide those rates, get them into better territories for you, right? All right, so I wanted to let you guys know about tomorrow's meeting. I really highly recommend you guys come. You guys are going through a lot, right? And I posed a question that I want to pose again, right? So just imagine that you've done all the right things with your client. You got them pre-approved at Chase, right? And the guy comes back and says, yes, I'm pre-approved. I can be 5% down. You got it verified. I can pay my closing costs at 2%, got that verified, and I can pay you your 2% commission, right? And we're qualified for $1 million sale price. Great, you cover it. You look at everything. Well, what happens 2 weeks from today when you negotiate that deal? When the appraisal comes in at 980, right? The seller doesn't want to pay the commissions, right? The buyer was going to pay your commission, but if he wants to go forward, how are you going to make that $20,000 difference, right? That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. I strongly suggest that you guys come so you can kind of collaborate with each other how to get there. I've got some solutions in place too, some things that you guys might want to utilize so that when you guys get into that situation, you're going to know what to do, because that's the reality of what's going to happen in the future. It happens now. We have appraisals that come in low, right? So that question is going to be a reality for you guys pretty soon. So come, I'm going to feed you twice. The first time with knowledge, the second time with food. So come tomorrow at 11:30. RSVP, I'm going to send another text out. I've got about 15 plus people so far. Should be a good turnout. Anytime we get that kind of response, I usually get a pretty good turnout. So please come at 11:30, hit me back so I can make sure we have enough food. The food will be from L&L Hawaiian Barbecue. So hopefully you guys like that. We're going to feed you well. Other than that, any questions? All right, I did my job.
I would definitely recommend to come to this. This will be a great opportunity to pick Chris's brain and some of the elements with all of the NAR changes and commissions and all that fun stuff. So I will be here too, helping answer some of the questions that may come across. So again, two things, you know, he's empowering you with the knowledge and also providing so, all right, tomorrow, Thursday, August 29, 11:30 to 12:30. All right, next slide. I think it's my broker update. So I've been getting a lot. Nat, if I can share my computer as well, please. A lot of stuff around leases and compensation. A lot of the question is, Simon, do we use the BRBC form when working with a tenant? Or do we even need a by representation agreement if we're working with a tenant? Okay, now I just want to stay very clear. How come I'm not in that photo? I want to state very clear that the tenant landlords were not part of the NAR settlement. It's only buyers and seller transactions and commissions, right? But still it impacts because even if you go on the MLS under leases, you're not going to find compensation, right? You're not going to find compensation. So the question is, how do you know if you're going to get paid, if any, if you're working and representing, you know, a tenant that's submitting a application for rental purposes, right? Well, guess what? California Association of Realtors have provided a form, and that form is, let me share my computer. I apologize. Hold on a second.
Tenant representation and broker compensation agreement.
Thank you so much, Joanna. Yes, so the form. Is the TRBC form, okay, better known as the Tenant Representation and Broker Compensation. It's a 2-page form. Okay, moving forward, full transparency, real estate conversations. Okay, they're not buying, they're not selling, but they want to rent or they want to have you help them sell, rent out their house, their duplex, whatever the case may be, right? Well, the buyer, the tenant representation and broker compensation agreement, TRBC, is the form that accomplishes that compliance. Okay, it's a 2-page, it's pretty self-explanatory, but moving forward, you have to have something in writing when working with tenants. It's like, gosh, Simon, you know, tenant and landlords don't pay that much money. Okay, well, you have to make a decision, folks. Do you want to work with tenants? You want to work with landlords? It's your discretion. No one is forcing you, right? But if you do, that's still income and that's fast money, right? If you can get everything in line and in place, you should be able to get paid pretty fairly quickly, right? So the form, as I mentioned, is pretty self-explanatory. It goes through the motions of who the tenant is, the representation grants the broker, which is Keller Williams, right? And then the representation period, beginning date and expiration date. What type of property are we looking at, right? So B1 completes that response when working with a tenant. Okay, it's a single family residence, condo, apartment, mobile home, townhome, industrial, whatever the case may be, right? Locations, cities, okay, you can put county of Los Angeles. So that way you're in alignment, because remember, who is responsible to pay you compensation? The tenant. Okay, remember the MLS, we don't know if the landlord is paying compensation. So we have to lean that the tenant is going to pay us compensation, right? And there's another form I'm going to share with you as well when you in a submission, similar to when you submit an offer, asking and granting the seller to pay us compensation, right? As most of the forms, you know that all compensations, right, are not fixed, they're all flat. Negotiable, right? So they have to put that disclaimer on there. Section D1, paragraph 3 goes into the amount of compensation, right? Whatever you feel your worth, right? A percentage or a flat fee, you're gonna put that in that section. Okay? D2 goes into payment receiving by the broker for housing provider, right? What's a housing provider? That's the landlord. Okay, that's the landlord. If the broker receives compensation from the housing provider or others, that the amount due to the broker for representation tenant shall be credited. So that's the disclaimer. So if anyone else other than the tenant pays you compensation, that credits the obligation from the tenant from paying you, right? Either a percentage or a flat fee. Any questions so far? Other terms, initials, and then the second page of the representation agreement just goes into the compensation to the broker, advisories, broker rights to compensation, agency relationship, possible dual agency and with the seller. You may be the agent representing the landlord as well. And you're getting people calling you directly without any representation, right? So that may create what's called the dual agency. But the only way that creates a dual agency is if you have a representation agreement, okay? That's the only way it creates the dual agency. Broker authorization and obligation, and then tenant's obligations. Tenant signs, broker information, and that's pretty much it with the tenant representation agreement. Any questions regarding this one? All right, so then when it comes to submission of a request for compensation, then the form that you're going to use, if you're only representing the tenant, okay? Sorry, the computer's a little slow. The form you're using now would be the form LCA form, okay? And that's the lease rental commission agreement, better known as LCA, okay? This is again, just working with landlords and tenants, right? This is the form that you're going to utilize for the request from the house provider to pay you compensation, okay? Let's just say, as an example, you're working with a tenant. So tenant Rosie is reaching out to me, hey, I need to find a place. My budget is $5,000 to $7,000. I'm looking for a place here, a single family residence in the city of Torrance. I says, yeah, no problem. You know, in order for me to work with you, I need to have an agreement with you, and that agreement is the tenant representation, right? She and I execute the agreement. Now she's a client of mine. I have a fiduciary responsibility to Rosie. Now I start to go to work, right? But part of the same way, remember, she is responsible to pay me a percentage or a flat fee of that amount, right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, but what if she says, look, Simon, I barely have enough with the first and the last and the deposit. I might be very tight in paying you compensation. I completely understand that, but I need to have that conversation with you because, you know, part of my responsibility, I'm going to be doing work that takes time, research, negotiations, and speaking with the agent to try to find and secure a property that fits your criteria. With that, you know, their services renders, I got to get paid. If the landlord does not pay me compensation, then I have to rely on you, Rosie, to pay me compensation, right? And that's why you have the tenant representation agreement. But, okay, but my ultimate goal is to see if I can try to negotiate as part of the terms, right? With the landlord and the agent to see if the landlord is willing to pay me the compensation. If I'm successful enough to do so, then that credits and offsets your obligation to pay me compensation. Does that make sense? Okay, so then we move forward. Hold that document, please. So this form accomplishes that request. When you submit the application, right, they may send you to a third-party link for your clients to submit their credit, their background check, to make sure they have no outstanding evictions and so on and so forth. They come back and they negotiate with you. It looks like your tenant is qualified. We're going to go ahead and draft the lease. And part of that, they also have to agree if they're gonna pay me compensation. Typically, the norm, and there's, you know, in the past, there's always been flat fees of $200, $300, $500, depending on the size of the monthly rent, right? Or sometimes it's the annual income percentage. Meaning that if the rent is $5,000, right, per month, you times that by 12 gives you a total of what? 60,000, and if you're asking 2.5% or 3%, then that's the percentage that you'll get back as compensation. Okay, that's another way in how you calculate your compensation or commission. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so either or, right? You can put a request and they counter you and says, no, we can't do a percentage, but I'm doing a flat fee of $500. You have to be okay with it. And if you're not okay with it, then you have to make a decision if you want to continue representing the client, right? Because there's people involved and there's time and effort involved. And there's disclosures that they also have to provide and make sure that you're having a conversation with the client. Make sense? Okay, any questions regarding this?
So this commission, do you send it to them when you submit the application or?
That's correct, yeah. I would send this as part of your request. If you find a property that your client wants, you show them the property, they love the place and they want to submit an application, read the agent remarks, right? Because there's a lot of information on agent remarks, right? So you know exactly what they're requesting, okay? But this should be, this form should be part of your practice anytime you represent a tenant in the submission of compensation. So when I fill out the application and I send it over to the listing agent, I'm also going to send them the rental commission agreement. And the language goes as follows, right? For services in arranging the lease or the month-to-month rental agreement, and the housing provider would be the owner's contact information, okay? And all of that information can be found through the MLS, okay? The tenant's information, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, or in this case would be Rosie, would be my tenant. And then the subject property that we're wishing to get our application accepted, okay? You're asking either for the housing provider to pay you compensation or you're agreed already in writing from the tenant. Maybe the tenant says, look, Simon, I'm okay, I'll give you $1,000 just to help me with the paperwork. And that's okay. And if you're okay, then you can put either or, housing or a tenant, okay? Any questions? You have a question? Okay. All right, compensation equal to, so then you can do the arithmetic of what that looks like as well. Broker may retain compensation due from the housing provider for any first advanced rentals and security deposit, collections by the broker for the tenant, or have the tenant write a separate check for such amount. Okay, depending on the negotiations, right? Compensation on extension of renewal, you can also ask. And the section 3 goes into, compensation on sequential sales to tenant. This is again one of the segues that if in the near future, one second, housing provider tenant agrees to pay broker if tenant directly or indirectly inquires or interested in agreeing to acquire. Okay, so this is again something that I like about this new form, that let's just say that this property eventually in the future becomes a property that the owner wants to sell. Guess what? Then you can also ask that if that's the case, your client, the tenant, may be interested in buying the property, right? So you're putting a disclosure and a disclaimer that if the tenant ends up buying the property or has the first right of refusal, you're putting here that you are going to represent the buyer. And you're already putting a percentage of the selling price, okay? So let's say that the tenant in 3 years and the seller says, look, I'm gonna try to sell it to the tenant. With this disclaimer, if approved, will allow you to represent the buyer in the future and get paid compensation based on the terms here, okay? Yes, John?
I saw something that was very unusual, and I think it's going to happen because of all this baloney that's going on with these new laws. Because first of all, be blunt with you, I don't know if a tenant's gonna pay the realtor anything to do a lease. Tenants I deal with are 5,000 to 6,000, and they barely have enough money to get in, let alone ask them for a commission. I think the problem is you're gonna make them sign a buyer's and broker's agreement. They're gonna try to get something, the seller's not gonna wanna pay commission. And you're gonna be stuck between a rock and a hard place. Saying, well, if I don't get paid, then I guess you don't get the lease. And if he has a family, he's gonna get really pissed off. Also, I saw an email today where a girl advertised, sent out on Facebook, my seller's willing to pay 3% selling commission on the property, listed her property on Facebook. So I think there's gonna be a forum that where sellers are willing to compensate outside brokers. Somebody's gonna think of something and put a website down. You can be able to put your address and a website down of selling or sellers have already agreed to pay buyers, agents, commissions. And I think that's I really think it's gonna happen. Is that legal?
So the answer, no. And CRMLS is cracking down. So there was an agent that has her private website and she's promoting a property. Not even IDX connected to her MLS. And the MLS found out and says, listen, this is strictly in violation of the NAR settlement. How would you like to proceed? So one second, Jim. Let me answer this question before we go to the next one. So to answer that question, that's a violation of any social platforms. It doesn't matter if it's not on the MLS, if you're promoting seller is willing to pay compensation or commission, it's a violation. Because remember, nothing on the MLS, nothing on any third-party website should promote any of that. If the seller is willing, part of the MLS says seller is yes to concessions or no to concessions. Now, concessions can be many variables. Concessions can be credit towards buyers' closing costs. Concessions can be concessions to buy down the rate. Concessions can mean help with buyers' requests of repairs and also compensation to their agent's responsibility. So they can use the concessions as part of the process for any of the above, including compensation. It's a matter of time where this agent is probably going to get flagged and they're going to say, hey, you need to remove that information. I wouldn't be surprised if it hasn't already been removed, if you check her social media and see if it still shows that, because that's a strict violation. Yes, sir.
I'd like to read you guys two things. One is from Next Home CEO James Wiggins. The plaintiff's lawyers are watching all these websites pop up and writing down all the names of the agents who are using them and compiling their next list of defendants to sue, which will include the brokerage since the agents work for you, Wiggins wrote. Here's attorney Michael Ketchmark, who was the guy who sued us all for $5 billion. If brokers and agents are trying to find ways that they can continue to violate the law and continue, we're going to hold them accountable. Ketchmark said, violation of the law is not allowed. If that happens, we are going to get in there and actively shut that down, which means you're going to be sued by the guys who just won $5 billion. I would advise you all that you probably don't have a good lawyer.
Can you share that with me? I'll give you my phone number.
Yeah.
Can you text that to me?
Yeah, this actually, I'm a member of 72 Sold, and if you probably don't subscribe to it, but Greg Haig, his weekly meetings are really great. He's a lawyer. And well, here's the other thing I am going to read to you. Warning, KW Jason Abrams. Sellers can still decide to specifically offer cooperative compensation, and it can be marketed any place other than the MLS. Keller Williams, head of industry and learning, Jason Abrams said. This can include things like newsletters, text messages, carrier pigeons, or a broker or agent's own website. Absolutely false. And Jason should have retracted that statement. It was bad information to sell to us as a company because Michael Ketchmark is watching you. He is gonna come for you. It doesn't matter if it's a small deal. They'll take your 40 grand and they won't think twice about putting you out of business, displacing you from your home. This is about money. It's not about anything but black and white, because the law is black and white. It's not gray. There is no area where you can circumvent the ruling. You cannot do anything but verbal offer of compensation to the other agent.
I appreciate that.
What? The
Simon?
But putting 3% on the key,
One second.
all these silly things, putting a sign in the yard, they're all gonna get you violated. And then Michael's gonna come after you financially. It may take a couple of years, but trust me, you will end up paying. And it'll be really sad to watch that, because so many people think they're smarter than the system.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing. That brings a lot of.
We had a whole class about it for about 90 minutes, and there's so many.
She must have read that, because that's what she advertised exactly.
Yeah, it's
Well,
a
but
matter,
you put it out
it's a
there.
matter of time. Listen, here's the bottom line. Just play the game for now. Let the dust settle for a bit. And then, we'll kind of see how this navigates. But going to his point is, I would caution anyone. I know we're trying to find the best way. We're trying to be sneaky or trying to find that shortcut. There isn't. It's black and white, folks.
You actually have to get on the phone again and actually talk to people.
Yeah.
And that's what, no offense, I try to avoid it sometimes too, but this is a business of conversations. And if you're not having a conversation, you're gonna end up getting caught. There is no special way to get this past anything, and it's not worth the little bit of money you're gonna make.
Remember, the only compensation is your compensation when representing the seller, and that's it. If the buyer wants to submit an offer, the buyer's agent can submit a request asking the seller for compensation. That's it. No ifs or buts. If the seller wants to, then have them submit an offer, and then we'll grant that request when they submit the request. Okay? Be careful, folks, okay? Because you're not just in jeopardizing yourself, you're in jeopardizing also the broker and the company as well. We don't need all this chaos. And thank goodness that Keller Williams stepped up and wrote a big fat check to settle this, right? We don't need this to come back to us. So thank you for sharing, all right? Someone on Zoom had a question.
Hi, Simon. This is Fred. I just
Hey,
want
Fred.
to, hey, I just want to implore everyone to do your job. Minimum fine is $2,500. If
Yes,
you're
sir.
doing your buyer representation agreement and you're representing the buyer, submit that as your negotiation when you're making an offer, and that becomes a part of the offer. If you're representing the seller, you just inform the seller that the buyer's agent will probably ask for a commission. Are they willing to do it? But when you are advertising, be very careful, because as the gentleman did say, they are watching, and I don't want anybody to be charged with that $2,500 fine. Do your job. If you do your job, there will not be an issue or a problem.
That's right. Awesome. Thanks, Fred. Appreciate it, sir. All right. Well, let's go ahead and continue. I think, any final questions regarding any of the rental, lease, and buyer tenant representation agreements? If not, let's go ahead and stop sharing. Ned, if we can continue with the presentation, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. All right, guys. Thank you so much.